Why are single men happier than you think? A lot of single men are not actually miserable. A lot of them are doing better than fine. Society likes to push the idea, oh, men are lost without a woman. That's a lie. For years now, men have been told that their happiness only comes from marriage and kids and overall settling down. But modern relationships don't offer men the same benefits that they used to. Men aren't wrong for asking what's in it for me before they go into a really serious relationship. Single men today have financial freedom and overall peace of mind. They have control over their own lives. They're traveling, building businesses, hitting the gym, and overall going after their goals. And until women are willing to offer a little bit more in relationships, this is going to continue. Holding men to these outdated expectations, but also a variety of new ones that show up every single day is just not doing it for them. And they're not going to continue having relationships if this keeps up.
Men are happy being single. They're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And because I see it, it's gotten harder to date, lately. Men are very satisfied in their lives without women. They're working a lot, or if they're not working, then, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married, they're happy being, bachelors and having their own space and not having to commit to anyone. So yeah, this wasn't the case before, but this is what it is now.
So basically what you're telling me is that for all of the nonsense that these modern women were talking about, men ain't got to say a word. They just go back into their man cave, which is their whole entire house or apartment, and say, hey, no, I don't need that foolishness here.
Men cannot comprehend women being single by choice because men are not single by choice. Anytime you see a single woman and you don't like anything she has to say, what's the first thing men say to her? Oh, that's why you'll always be single. That's why you'll never get a man. No wonder you're not in a relationship. It's not an insult. This is a choice. We can have that. It's not difficult to get a man. You literally just walk out there, first man you speak to, whether he's single or not, he will give you attention. Okay, if I need to get somebody's number, I don't even need to speak to them. And I've done this before in a club to get a number for somebody else. I just look at the man and say, are you single? He says yes. I give him my phone with the keypad ready. He types it in. I get his name. Done. It's that easy. Men are not hard work. They're not hard to get. Women are the prize. Women that know their worth, have self-respect, that know who they are, that know they want and deserve princess treatment, that love themselves to the point of obsession and actually treat themselves like a princess and give themselves everything they want. Those women are difficult to get. Those women are the prize. It is not difficult to get a man. It is not difficult to get several men. If you want that, it's very easy for a woman to get that. So telling us we're going to end up single or that's why we haven't got a man just shows your lack of intelligence, just shows your lack of awareness of the world we live in. It's not difficult to get men. You are not the prize.
Guys say that they don't want to be in a relationship ever. Do they mean it, or do they just not want to be with the person that they told that?
I think it's two things. They either A, have somebody they want to be with and they will stay alone until they get that person, or number two, they've been hurt so bad that they will not risk it. They won't even chance getting back into another relationship. And I hate to say this, but a lot of these guys are our fathers, our uncles. Look real hard. Look at how they got hurt and tell me if that wasn't a big part of it. Got deep for her.
It could be. It could be that men have seen the foolishness, and even when they get close, we're not even in a relationship, but the stuff that you're asking me right off the bat, absolutely not.
Secret to what women want is simple. They want guys who are happy single. If you're a single guy, the most important thing you can do is stop waiting around for a girlfriend to live your best life. Proactively find things that make you happy, that have nothing to do with women. Maybe this means leaving your comfort zone and learning to travel alone, or making new friends, or even starting a new career. Once you put yourself first, women will follow.
This person is suggesting that research shows that people who are single, especially men, are living longer than before. Single life is healthy and peaceful, no stress, no drama. Actually, quite the opposite. According to Harvard's longest study of adult life, it turns out that people who are more socially connected to family, friends, community, a good partner, are happier, physically healthier, and live longer.
I don't know when we're finally going to realize that more and more men are single because they want to be single. Because they've built up their lives. They like their day-to-day routine. They buy what they want and can afford. They spend time on whatever hobby they enjoy. But what they don't want is making the mistake of sacrificing those things for something less than what they already have. And I get it. We've heard that women are raising their standards. But ladies, men are too.
Women are scared of happily single men. You want to know why? Let's get into it. Being happily single as a man makes you more appealing. Men that don't need to be in a relationship. Men that have high standards. Men that don't chase women. They chase in purpose. This makes women think, wonder if that man is actually interested in them, and will in turn, y'all listen to this, increase the value of that man and his expressed interest in their mind.
The funniest thing about so many men is nowadays, so many men are no longer scared of being single. They're now scared of being in a soul-sucking, detrimental relationship that's only going to waste their time, waste their energy, waste their effort, and waste their money. They would rather be single than be in a bad relationship. So it's not that men are complaining because they're single. Men are complaining because they've just seen everything as such a waste of time for them lately.
Get out and never come back.
Ready or not, here I come. Can't hide.
If ladies want a man to provide, then you gotta let that man also protect. Because you can't ask to have all your bills paid, but then you don't want this man to be able to put boundaries around what is conducive for him to be activated in a way that wants to love and provide for you. Just because he's present doesn't mean he's a father. You saying, what time are you getting home? What time are you getting home, baby? If it was familiar to her, it was because her father asked that. It's familiar to me because I had a real father who protected, who provided. For women who have fathers who are really in their life who say, baby, that's too much.
Yeah.
Or he says, you know, what time you getting home?
Yeah.
Or that's too late. Or my dad would even tell me, baby, listen, you get more bees with honey when it comes to a man. He said, daddy don't mind you being strong. But when I see you in your relationships, you wear the pants, baby. It's okay if that's what you want. But if you ever want to switch it up and get a different kind of man, you got to let them overalls go a little bit. But see, that's a real father who's telling me right for wrong. So my point of telling you is when a man comes in and says, why didn't you pick up your phone? To fatherless girls, that's controlling.
Damn.
To a woman who had a father who loved her, who served me, who doted on me, to me, you're a husband. Now, if you let me go out to 10, 12, 11 o'clock at night and you don't show any concern, guess what? I'd ask you not to call me no more.
Oh my God.
Because how come you weren't concerned about your woman that you have an intent of wanting to marry or an intention of being a family man or a husband? Mm-hmm. So I'm just showing you men out there, when you get women who are not used to what protection looks like, you don't need to down her or you don't need to disempower her, but you need to check with yourself and say, wait a minute, I want a woman who is open and receptive to a man protecting her.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Now, what would you be doing outside at the times that you were stating, if that's your standard? What would you be doing out there? Why do I have to tell you what to do? You see what I mean? Some of this stuff sounds good, and it actually is good. But then you just get into foolishness. At some point in time, these modern women are going to have to govern themselves accordingly.
A lot of times men date us and they're actually disappointed. When you're wondering like, oh, well, why did he pursue me? Why did he want to be with me? And then now all of a sudden he pulling back and he want me to chase him. He got to fucking know you and he's disappointed. Let me tell you this. This is my shit, so I can say, I done disappointed a couple niggas. I know that there are men out here that was just like admire me from afar and it was like, surprise, I'm a hoe. Like, surprise, look. I fucked you in a week. Like, I know that I disappointed you. Like, I think that men They see you from afar and they're like, wow, she's out here doing her thing. She's a boss, whatever. And then they get you on, they see you off that Casamigos. You drunk as a fucking fish. Your diet don't consist of nothing. You listen to trap music every time you wake up. You have no morning routine. You have no core values. And they date you and they're like, damn, like I thought it was something else.
Want to know what's crazy though?
That's crazy.
Those women that care and watch how much money you spend and how much money you spending on them, they don't like you. Because a woman that likes you don't want you to spend all your money because she's mindful of the union and the partnership that y'all are building.
There it is.
If that woman is like, ooh, like women that are like, ooh, I need to get my hair and my nails done. Why is your hair and your nails not already done? This should be a lifestyle. Like if you literally, it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, because you know, I have an appointment from here. I'm going to get my hair done. It's one thing to be like, oh yeah, I have my hair appointment. I have zero expectation for a man to be like, oh, here you go. You got to, no. Now, if it happens, I love that for me, but it's not an expectation because it doesn't need to be. So I personally feel like us ladies, we got to get it together because it's that standard that's making men think that the transaction is okay. We hold the standard. It's all up to us at the end of the day as women, you know, and we got to stop being so doggone cheap.
Because we see the clips of like, oh, what you gonna do for me? What you gonna do for me? What you gonna do for me?
And then women will be like, well, I took my time to get ready. That man has time too. He took time out of his day to make sure that he prepared something. Hopefully he put some effort in. It's not just going to a thing. But this is another thing too, for the ladies that are listening. We got to be mindful that men with money, I'm doing air quotes right now, men with money or real men with money, a lot of the times what they're doing is just what they do. You are not special. So someone may think, oh my God, he flew me on a jet, or oh my God, he flew me first class, or oh my God, we went to this 5-star restaurant. Baby, that's what he does. You are not special. You insert girl here at this point, you know? So I feel like we got to get really clear on what does each side have to offer. Are you looking for a dating experience, which is fine, or are you looking for partnership in life?
Women will never get on board with this because they're too busy bumming off of other dudes.
Okay, PSA to all men. Just because a girl is wearing a low-cut shirt or a tight top or a fitted outfit doesn't give you permission to just stare at their chest. It makes us so uncomfortable, and if you guys could please stop doing it, it would be amazing. Men will always be like, oh, we don't like being called creeps, or we're so scared to be called creeps, but then you guys make it so difficult for the female species to exist.
Hey, gentlemen, I need you to stop sexualizing women. Also, look at my ass.
How much they tell me you appreciate the sacrifices I make for the family?
$500.
Last month it was 100.
Yeah, well, inflation. You want the damn appreciation or not?
Yes.
Stop wasting my damn time.
Hurry it up! My wife thinks I'm getting toilet paper!
Yeah, so does mine. You're not special.
That's what she says!
I appreciate all the sacrifices you make for your family.
Oh, God, thank you. Thank you.
I want you to not tell me how to drive.
$100 around the block.
Back in the day when our grandmothers was calling us fat and telling us we need to back away from the table and telling us the hard truth, that's when we had structure. When y'all started normalizing bullshit and y'all started caring about people's feelings, that's when we lost the plot, bitch. Just look at history. Look at the black people before us. Just look at history. Never in a million years would I have ever thought that we would have a fat activist. What y'all are promoting is not just obesity, but you are promoting destruction. How the hell are y'all coming up here with all these think pieces telling black people that we need to get organized? And you're talking about battling white supremacy when you don't even have the physical capabilities to do so. Just really think about that. Y'all come up here loud and fucking wrong, big as a motherfucking house, in your 20s, asking for a fucking seatbelt extender, okay? And thinking that you're going to accomplish anything. You're not going to accomplish a motherfucking thing other than maybe a heart attack before you turn 40. Your physical aligns with your mental capabilities, okay? If you're running around here just stuffing your fucking mouth with junk and not being aware of your caloric intake, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say out your motherfucking mouth, because it's given you don't give a damn about yourself. So it's nothing that you can tell me up here on this app. The black women before us, and I'm speaking to black people, so I don't want y'all saying, oh, well, it's YT people that's obese or other people. Why don't you focus on them? I'm not focused on them because I'm a black woman. So mind your fucking business. The black women that came before us looked 3 to 4 times younger than we did at this age. They were beautiful. They were energetic. Look at these women now. Look at them now. Say what you want, but this is not my fucking representation.
Activists for obesity. Modern women have figured out a way to enable every single bad behavior that they have.
Hey. I'm hungry. What? Well, that's not upstairs. Oh, I want McDonald's. McDonald's? Yes, I want a chicken. What? Can you get it for me, please? Like 30 minutes away. Please? Sure. I'm really hungry. You serious? Yes. McDonald's? Yes. Please. What do you want? I want 2 more chickens. With ranch. 2 more chickens, ranch? Yeah, that. Thanks, man. Cool.
My baby, he wanna show me what my heart is.
Okay. I am McDonald's.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
That's the most of the other thing?
Yeah. You want to play with me?
Will it play the game?
Yeah. I was waiting for you. You took a while.
It's hella far, man. I gotta get myself something too. So.
Chicken. Oh, no. Yeah, only me one of them.
Well, I'm gonna go and get myself something too.
Yeah. Stop, Luca. Get that. Thanks, babe.
Honestly, that man was probably ecstatic. He was probably saying to himself, this is one of the only times that I get some peace and quiet.
Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off like the top of my head.
You do become a little more invisible the older you get as a woman, unfortunately. I don't get asked out on a lot of dates. I never get asked out on dates. I don't know if it's being 55 in Los Angeles or if it's just a strange town.
What is the biggest confidence killer for women over 50? Men over 50. They never look at you anymore.
When I was 55, I felt like I was starting to fade. I felt like I was starting to go invisible. I felt dismissed. I felt ignored. I felt like I was washed up.
When I was 15, I started modeling, and it was a very hard thing to walk away from. Then around the age of 45, I started noticing that the way I was perceived was slightly different than what I had become used to. And then I would put photos of myself in bikinis. All of a sudden, I started getting the influx of, are you a little desperate there, Grandma? How about you cover up and spare us the look of your poor aging body? I was sort of getting relinquished to the invisible women category.
When I'm making him food and then remember I don't have a ring on my finger, so you'll give your body to these men without a ring, but you won't cook him a meal? Body count 28, meals cooked 0. That's an insane KD. Call your father and apologize. That is so tough.
I want to speak directly to the men who are doing the work. I'm talking about the ones who weaponize passivity, the ones that think regulation means repression. Talking to the men that are doing the inner work. They're learning how to feel and sit with their own emotions. They're learning how to analyze how they show up. They're also learning how to hold the emotional space for their partners. But still, it's not enough. You're breadcrumbed to a goalpost that keeps on moving. You're punished for not matching an invisible fantasy that your wife or girlfriend may have, absorbed from social media algorithms, smut novels. Yeah, it's real. Trauma pages, or some imaginary version of the perfect man who always knows what she needs before she does. And I know we don't talk about this enough because culturally we assume that men are the only ones underperforming in relationships. But what happens when it's the woman that's avoiding accountability? when she's the one emotionally dumping, shifting blame, and outsourcing her regulation to you. Here's the thing, all right? Feelings are valid, but it doesn't mean the story that comes with them is accurate. A lot of women today, they're collapsing into what we call the panic child, pulling their partner into their emotional spiral, demanding regulation, and calling it intimacy. But regulation is an inside job. So when you're steady, calm, and grounded, you're actually being perceived as distant. Because we've conditioned women to believe that emotional performance is the evidence that love exists. And when you don't match that energy, it feels like abandonment for someone who hasn't faced her own chaos. There's a silent burnout that's happening amongst men, and nobody is talking about it. You're showing up, but you're being dismissed. You're emotionally present, but you're still being blamed. You're patient, but it's being mistaken for weakness. This is not about bashing the women. This is about holding that nuance. Me highlighting this truth doesn't erase other truths. It's about bringing this balance back to these sorts of conversations. Because there's so many of you being erased by a narrative that only allows one version of pain to exist and to be valid. And it's not healing, it's a form of projection. And if you're a man that's tired of walking on eggshells, who's doing the work but is still being the villain in other people's story, we can't silence men's pain anymore. Especially if us women are so sick of all the stuff that we're going through at the hands of men. Maybe it's time we start holding space for men as well. Y'all are not giving out the same grace you're demanding, which to me is so wild.
Females will never tell another female to take accountability because females are just what they present to be and men are what we present to be. We are the ugly truth. That's why we don't mind going outside with a scruffy beard. And the women are a beautiful lie. That's why they all got different color makeup. That's why they all come outside with a mask and a wig. Real shit.
Here's a quick reminder. Women are always looking for a good man until it requires them to be a better woman. And when I'm saying better woman, I'm talking about put some clothes on your back. Stop being so delusional. Be more realistic when it comes to your expectations. Control your emotions. Control your mouth. Stop controlling the man and stop making up scenarios in your head and then getting upset at that man. Give that man some space. Cooking and cleaning is next. And since you want that man to go out there, make that money so he can provide for you, you're going to have to emotionally support your man. And if you're not ready to do that, you're not able or ready to get a good man.
Fellas, y'all better get rid of that argumentative, disrespectful, loudmouth woman. Man, listen, you better run right now, bruh. That good food that she know how to cook, that nice body, and because she may have some good sex, that ain't worth the level of disrespect that you going through. Even the Bible says it is better to live on a rooftop than in the house with a argumentative woman. Some women always talk about that men fumble a good woman. Nah, baby. Everything ain't being fumbled. Sometimes we throw you back. Sometimes it's a handoff. Fellas, you got to give a handoff. You better hand her off. She ain't worth the headache. We are living in a time where men's mental health and emotional health matter more than it ever has. Sometimes it takes a woman to fumble a good man to realize that she needs to do some inner work, to realize that she may need to get some emotional and mental development in herself. I have watched men be reduced to nothing because of the words of a woman's mouth. Bro, get out of there. Let her fumble you. Some women have been through so much trauma and chaos and toxic relationships that that's a normal place for them. Instead of taking the wisdom and the insight from a man, some women are still going to be in the comments arguing their perspective because they can't control the urge or the impulse to just not have to say something. Bruh, if she can't shut up, shut her up by dismissing her and moving on with your life.
Let me teach y'all some etiquette right here. You see how on camera, live, in the microphone, she said she had to pee? That is poor etiquette, right? See, I used to send my women to etiquette school. You know what they say? You never announce you're going to the bathroom because nobody wants to picture that. All you say is, excuse me. That's all you say is, excuse me. Got a lot of work to do. What you should have done when I politely tried to correct your etiquette, right? You should have said, you know what? Noted. I'm going to do that next time because you're right.
Instead, you could have told me that off of the camera, but
Well, you said you had to pee. You said you had to pee on camera.
Okay, but you corrected me on live,
Well,
so I'm gonna
so
talk
we
my
not
shit
supposed.
on
So
live.
we not supposed to be real on here.
We can be real.
So don't you think that's a better way to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
You want to know some other things I learned in etiquette? Teach her cutlery. Does she know how to eat peas with a fork? It's a very specific way to do it. I bet she doesn't know. And when you give her that game, she can go into certain places and feel respected. Because what you guys don't understand is people on higher levels with etiquette that you can dress the part, you can talk the part, but then you give yourself away with how you move. And it immediately lets them know and detects you of not being one of them. That's what a lot of women don't even know. They could come, they could dress right, they could talk right, they could have the look, but they're moving in ways that they don't know that's giving themselves away to these men that let them know, like, you're not from here. This is not your normal environment. So teach your woman that, teach yourself that. Matter of fact, go get my etiquette guide. Everything that we learned in these weekend-long New York trips for etiquette, I put all it.
Basically, in a nutshell, be quiet. Be quiet. You decided to say that on camera when they were teaching etiquette. And so he said, now see, this is what you would do. It'd be one thing if he was trying to bash you. Now I can see you getting beside yourself, right? You saying a little something, you're popping off at the mouth or whatever. But this, you need to control your emotions as well is really what you need to do. The women in the comments talking about, oh, well, he could have said it off camera. No, he could have said it how he said it when he said it. And he told you, and even further, what you can do when I just corrected you right there or gave you suggestion right there was said, okay, noted. If you were really in control of your emotions like you ask a man to do, you wouldn't have said anything at all. You would have been like, got you. Okay. Swallow that pride. But of course, modern women have struggles with that.
You know what? I can't even ride for black women no more because it really be the black women that be hating the most on me. For real. Like dead ass. It really be them. For real. Dead ass. Because a lot of y'all really upset because you think I'ma pick me when all I'm doing is telling you how I've been making it through life. All I've been doing is telling you exactly how my struggles and shit that I've been through. But all of a sudden, because you're insecure, I'ma pick me, bitch. Argumentative, combative. Can't submit. You say you can't submit because that man doesn't pay all your bills. But yet, even if a man did pay all your bills, you still wouldn't be able to submit because you're not a submissive, feminine type of female. And that's why you have so much problems dating. That's why you have so much problems finding a man. Don't no nigga want to argue with you. Don't no man want to come home and hear your goddamn mouth. But when I say it, I'ma pick me. Oh, okay. You know what? A lot of y'all don't even know how to submit because you ain't never seen that shit. You never seen a woman actually cater and bow in the presence of a man. You never seen it. It's not even your fault. But when you got somebody that's telling y'all how to do it, now I'ma fucking pick me. Because I said buy that man something every now and then, now I'ma pick me. Because I say don't walk around that man toe up all fucking day long just because that's your nigga, I'ma pick me. Come on now. Come on now. Make it make sense. If you do the math and make it make sense, I'll actually be on your side. But it ain't adding up. Because I never, not once tore down a black woman. Not one fucking time. But y'all gonna come on my page and tear me down because you're insecure. Because your man's on my page. Because your man's a follower. Because your man's a subscriber. Because your man's in my comments. Because your man's in my likes. Well, maybe if your man's always up in my shit, then maybe you should just stop being a hating ass bitch and learn that classes in session. Get you a notepad and a pen, sis. Submission ain't got nothing to do with a nigga paying bills. Submission has everything to do with you believing in your man and you knowing your man has a plan. Shut the fuck up, fall in line, and y'all will get some goddamn where, but you can't shut up. That's your problem. You don't know when to stop fucking talking. Because I be wanting to beat y'all asses too. But I don't even be having time to give y'all hating ass, miserable ass bitches time in the comments. But I got time today because I'm on the fucking road. Find somebody else to goddamn play with. You don't have to like, click, or fucking subscribe. Just keep fucking scrolling, ho.
Me or a 2007 Toyota Corolla? How many miles you got on it?
I'm a virgin.
How many miles does a Toyota Corolla have on it?
I don't know, what's 60,000?
60. How many miles you got? You said you're a virgin?
Yeah.
Toyota Corolla could get me from point A to point B. A woman, I'm sorry, you can't get me from point A to point B. You get me to hell. I'm going with this.
Whoa, hell is crazy.
What?
I said hell is crazy.
I'm sorry, that's just true. Toyota Corolla.
I do want to put your clubs in the car before I go out though.
Thank you. I figured you would.
Why? Because I treat you like a little girl?
No, you treat me like a queen.
The queen should be treated like a woman and a lady at every phase of their life. So there's moments where you need to be treated like the queen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's moments where you gotta be treated like a little girl.
I don't know what's going on here, but this makes me feel weird.
Your 20s, like who the fuck wants to get married and settle down? I want to feel the thrill. I want to be getting my head bashed in the mattress, and then I want to be getting ghosted the next day. I want to have my heart ripped out of my chest, and I want to do it all over again.
I want to get my heart broken and I want to do it all over again. No! This is the worst advice women are giving in 2025. Glamorizing getting ghosted and your heart ripped out like pain is a lifestyle and dysfunction is sexy. And to think some of you are actually listening to this, thinking it's empowering to be used, thrown out, and broken over and over again. This is exactly why modern dating is hell. Broken women create broken men, and broken men destroy families. By the time you grow out of this phase, the good men, they're already gone. Building a relationship with someone who chose peace, love, and loyalty early, I chose that life. I chose discipline over chaos, and now I have peace. Real peace, not a fake validation from a one-night stand. You weren't made for trauma, you were made for love. But you'll never find that if pain is your preference. So wake up. You're not being empowered, you're just being emptied.
I tell you one thing you can do that will blow his mind. Listen, if you've got a good man, if he doesn't bring you candy on Valentine's Day or flowers on your birthday, but if he brings that paycheck home every week, that's a good man. Love your husbands. The Bible tells us to love when we have a good man. Now, if he's abusing you and mistreating you and physically abusing you, the Holy Ghost will also give you when to pack your bags and move out. But if you've got a good man, sometimes unsaved men are good men. And if you just live the life, the sanctified wife will sanctify the husband. Ladies, when he's in the shower, go in the shower, get in the shower, and wash his black.
They're not gonna hear you, mother. They don't hear you.
I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Don't no man want a female that don't listen. I'm gonna be 100. If you like to go back and forth, you like to argue, and you wanna, ain't nobody finna fuck with you. Not for real. You ain't finna be nothing but a skeezer. Nigga gonna call you when he needs something. That's just about the end of it. You not finna be no wife. You ain't finna be retained. And if you like, well, fuck it. Oh, I'm for the streets anyway. Well, shit, don't be one of them how that be 50 in the club. 30 trying to sell it for a low dollar. On my mama. Just learn to be quiet. You gonna keep your man. I ain't learned to ask any man that tell you. Can't be telling the truth.
These men don't be lame when y'all are with them. These men don't be bad dads and horrible boyfriends and husbands and he never bought me anything. I was the one paying all the bills. That's not what y'all be saying when y'all are in relationship with these men. But the moment that these men leave because they're tired of your mistreatment, they're tired of your poor character, your cheating, whatever it is that these women be doing to these men, the moment that these men leave, then y'all want to assassinate these men's character. Now all of a sudden he's little. Now all of a sudden he never treated you well. He was verbally, he didn't pay no bills. Watching Remy Ma and Papoose go through this public divorce is really sad because we thought they were the epitome of black love, right? But what's happening right now is what happens in a lot of relationships. Everything is great until you don't get your way. Everything is great until you think that the grass is greener on the other side. And then you get over there and you realize that grass was sod and it was fake. I think that's what's happening. I think Remy Ma thought that she was going to be able to have an amazing life wherever she had been canoodling at. And when she got over there and realized, this ain't what I thought it was, you tried to slide back over there to Papoose. And Papoose said, no, Ma, I'm happy. I done moved on. You had multiple chances. I'm done. And because she can't accept accountability for losing a good man, now she has to paint this man like he wasn't a good man. I believe Papoose. And when I hear a lot of women assassinate the character of the man that just a few months ago they were madly in love with, I fully believe that you did something and now you are regretting your decisions. So instead of you just being like, yeah, I messed that up, you got to make yourself the victim. When we going to stop that?
The truth is, most of us Christian single ladies who come from matriarchal backgrounds, we are not ready for marriage. We were not raised by our fathers. We didn't see the need of a man. We were raised by strong, independent women. When we grow up, we don't know how to need a man. We know how to survive without a man. So the truth is, you then don't know how to value the importance of a man in your life, because all that was modeled in front of you was a strong, independent woman who knew how to survive outside of a man. The Bible in the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says, don't be conformed to the standards of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds, right? And trauma, childhood traumas, and all of these past hurts, they're all stored in your soul. And that's why we have to be transformed. The Bible is for inner work. The Bible is for therapy. But a lot of Christian women, you think that the reason why you're not married is because of some spiritual husband, some marital delay, some spirit of rejection. And it's not that. You need to change. You need to value the importance of a man. You need to understand that there's a reason why a child must be raised by a mother and the father of the child. Why it is important to have a two-parented household. The thing is, we come from households where we have strong, independent women, and we become strong, independent women. We don't know how to depend on a man. You know, that's why when these women get into marriage, they don't give the man their space to be the king, the lord, the father of the house. Because what do you mean? I don't need you. I don't depend on you. And this is why we self-sabotage. We end up not getting married. And if we get married, we ruin that marriage because we have seen our mothers, our aunts, our grannies live without men. So we still have that same mindset. We have not yet been transformed. That's why if you come from a matriarchal background, please work on yourself, fix yourself. Don't just pray, go to therapy, read books so that you can value the importance of a man, so that you can know how to be soft and depend on a man. You understand? Don't allow these bitter women on social media to lie to you. They are going to ruin you. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Years ago, I had an ex-boyfriend that gave me the best advice. I didn't understand it then, but now I realize that he was so right. One random day, he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to take a class. I wasn't working at the time, so I'm like, what type of class? He's like, whatever you want. Do you want to pick up a hobby? Do you want to take a college course? And that he'd pay for it. I asked him why he was offering to do this, and he said, because busy people don't argue like this. The way my schedule is set up, I don't have time. And even when I have time, I don't have time to argue and debate about things that are so small. Let's lay on this couch, watch a movie, and cuddle.
When she blames you for not being enough. I had a client who bent over backwards for his girlfriend, planned dates, supported her, did everything under the sun to make this girl happy. But no matter what he did, it was never enough. She just dismissed his efforts and just acted like they didn't count. Eventually, he did stop trying. He was drained. And the moment that he did stop, she just flipped on him. You never show up for me. You don't even care about me. And that, folks, is subtle gaslighting. A narcissistic woman will invalidate everything you do until you break. Then blame it on you for it. If you constantly feel like you have to prove your love, like nothing you do is ever enough, it's not you. It's the game that she's playing. Healthy relationship will not make you question your own worth. it will make you feel seen.
People think men are hard to please. They're so easy to please. You just listen to them all day and make them feel good about themselves, and they're just like open.
Give us like 3 must-dos if you want a man to
When you
fall in
first
love.
meet him,
Yeah.
how's your mental? Did you eat? How's your relationship with your parents or your kids? Do you need me to help you with anything? That's it. Like every day.
And they're in love at that point.
Oh, what? As long as you're consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like you're saying, treat that man how you would want to be treated. What a concept.
Have you seen this video?
You said you do want to be a wife.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any other people in the audience who want to be a wife? I'm going to have a deep conversation with y'all right now. You have to prepare yourself to be a wife. If you want to get into your Ruth era, you have to get out of your Jezebel era. Let me say this real quick. I'm going to be biblically sound for just a minute. If you're not a believer, cover your ears. If you want to get into that space of really being a virtuous woman, the behaviors that you have, even in dealing with somebody, should be leading that person closer to God. But if you are playing with a person and toying with a person's emotions, if you all are not even equally yoked, you all don't even have the same value or the same desire or the same purpose, leave them alone. Because if you are to prepare yourself for a wife, then you can't be making foolish decisions. That's all Proverbs, baby. You got to get into your word, honey. I understand. I know it's always a fun time to say, hey, let's do this. Let's date. Let's do all this stuff. But every time you are connecting with a different person, you are connecting with their demons as well. You don't want to keep on attaching these things onto you, because when your husband does find you, then he has to navigate all of these demons. I encourage you to truly start working on yourself, working on your faith, working on your insides. I said just yesterday, the Bible tells us to adorn ourselves. That means on the inside of us. I'm not talking about the physical and what you have and your clothes and your status. On the
I mean, I don't get it. These modern women, they be talking about, I'm looking for my Boaz. And they literally do not follow directions. They're literally not following any directions. She was following the directions of her mother-in-law, whom she did not have to be around. It was a choice. She said, if I go back to where I came from, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for me. They love my family, but I left them where they at. And now I'm with you. And I've been rocking and rolling ever since I've been with you. I met my husband. That's your boy. He passed away. But I think I'm going to stay with you. Because once again, you be doing the right things, and I see that you got something going on. I don't know what it is, but you got it going on. I'm staying with you. So they go and move in back with, I think Naomi, with her family. And they just out there, kind of chilling, looking for work. Naomi says, okay, go out there and start working. Finds a field to work in. Okay. Goes to that field, starts working. Man, Boaz, as we know later on, says, oh, look, what's going on here? Who is that? Who is that? I've never seen it before. And his workers say, oh, that's Ruth. She Naomi's daughter-in-law. Her husband passed away, so she's a widow. And he's saying, is there anybody that has spoken for her, or basically anybody interested in her? I think she might have like one person that, was looking at her, is interested, but other than that, no. So you fast forward, dude that, quote unquote, had interest in her. He was like, no, I'm not really interested. So Boaz comes through and says, okay, keep her in my field, working in whatever we got going on. And she goes back and tells Naomi all of this. Basically, oh, I found a job somewhere. And Naomi was like, oh, stay there. Do that. Just don't make no noise. Dress up like you're supposed to. Do right. And you'll be okay. Turns out, fast forward again, Naomi says, it seems like this guy, Boaz, is kind of interested in you. How about you go into his room, basically his headquarters, and present yourself? Essentially saying, why don't you make yourself available to him? And we're not talking about being intimate. We just talking about, I heard you was interested in me. It seems like you was interested in me. I'm interested in you too. Bet. That's all she did. She didn't do nothing else but come and sit before him. And when he woke up, I don't know if he was asleep. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But when he recognized that she was in basically his house. I'll say his house. It's probably maybe in his bedroom. I can't remember. But when he recognized that she was there, he said, "Oh, so you're interested in me." And they went through all that other stuff. Fast forward, got married. I think King David came from her lineage, came from that whole thing, right? Down the line through Jesse, his daddy. Okay. So I say all that to say following directions is paramount. Submitting to the mission. Naomi had a mission. Boaz had a mission for you coming up under. I'm working in his field. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. I'm not looking for no money. I'm just here to work. That's it. I'm just here to roll up my sleeves, make an honest living for myself. She wasn't thirsty. She wasn't desperate. I'm just out here to work. And Naomi said, okay, you got an opportunity. And I think Ruth was actually like, I know my husband passed, which was your son, but I don't want to disrespect you. Naomi said, I'm not going to have no more children. So even if you stay with me, I can't. By the time my children, first of all, I'm too old to be having children. And even if I did have children and I raised them and reared them up and all that stuff, you're going to be too old. That's weird. So if you can go on back to your family, but if you're going to come with me, we're going to do things different. Right then, I can't remember the other woman that married Naomi had 2 sons. She married another one, right? And then Ruth married her other son. Right then and there, the other daughter-in-law said, well, I'm going to go back to, where I came from, which is fine. You do whatever you want. But then Ruth said, no, I'm going to come up under your mission, your vision, wherever you're going, and I'm going to live my life that way. Too many modern women going back to the influence or staying up under the influence of people that was doing things the old way. Who knows what happened to that other lady? We don't know. But what we do know is Ruth went in there and found her another man, a good man, a man that was, I won't say he was rich, but he was doing a little something. He had a little motion. But modern women will never find that because they don't pay attention. Even if they did pay attention, they don't know what they're looking for. So it doesn't matter. You're still trash as a person. So you'll never get the high value man, quote unquote, that you're looking for.